Hello everyone, Inklander here, and today I wanted to kind of do an impressions and discussion video about the recent Skylanders leaks that have been going on, because we've gotten more of those, we've gotten an update on that, and also because the Skylanders website is now down as well. So in order to kind of talk about this, I also wanted to bring someone else on who you might recognize from a very familiar Skylanders podcast. So Ditto, how are you doing?
I'm doing alright. How about yourself, Inklander?
Doing pretty great, and really I should have just introed this video with the greetings and welcome to Skylanders Portalcasters, but different thing altogether. But yeah, so
It would have felt right, though.
True, true. But if you all do want to happen to check out a Skylanders podcast, there's a link to that in the description if you haven't yet. But basically, we wanted to kind of talk about how we're feeling about these leaks, how we're feeling about these rumors, and what we interpret the Skylanders website going down to mean. So, I guess let's go ahead and start off with the Tiffany Treadmore leak. So, basically, throughout pretty much January and the month of February, Tiffany Treadmore, the leaker on Twitter that everyone's been talking about, had been saying that she would have an update for us on the 26th of February, which indeed she did. And basically, let's go ahead and kind of run over what exactly she said here. She claimed that the meeting was frustrating, that the sources claimed that there would be a short in-development announcement that was supposed to run at E3 2021, so later this summer, but wasn't sure if that had been pushed to happen in the fall. Said that the new title is focused on mobile and the Nintendo Switch, will be involved with some sort of toys to life, basically, with cards or coins or figures, but not quite sure yet on what the delivery system would be. Said that there would be development on non-Skylanders titles, including Skylanders characters, so kind of expanding the Skylanders universe. Rumor that different types of Skylanders games were also in development, that these experiences could be Battle Royale-esque, and using the cards or coins or whatever it might be to give new alts to these characters. And then that the Skylanders theatrical film talks had stopped, that a mainline Skylanders game reboot would happen around the holidays, and that there was some talk of basically doing an additional Skylanders game that would cross over with another title, kind of like how Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle did. So those are the updates, and this really doesn't add up to me at all. What about you, Ditto?
This really doesn't add up at all, especially timeline-wise, based on patterns when it comes to Skylanders and announcements.
Yeah.
It doesn't line up any way that Activision has ever done this before.
Yeah, exactly. Activision tends to have a pattern when they do these kinds of things. And basically, what Tiffany Treadmore is saying here is that, there's going to be apparently, a new mobile/Nintendo Switch thing that has Toys to Life that also might have Battle Royale mechanics. But then also that apparently there's going to be spin-off Skylanders games. And then there's also apparently going to be, a crossover with Skylanders. And when I hear that, I think, why in the world would Activision ever do that?
Right,
Especially
it doesn't
right
make
now.
any sense.
Right, because Skylanders has been on a hiatus since 2017, at the end of the Lost Imaginite Mines. It's not been a thing. And so now you're telling me that, wait a second, not only are they producing a new Skylanders game, but they're also producing a Skylanders game alongside other Skylanders games, and also you're still using Toys to Life. And as I've talked about in previous videos, it's not financially viable for Activision right now to try to release a Skylanders Toys to Life game.
Absolutely not. If they were to attempt to release a Toys to Life game right now in the current environment, in the current economy, it would immediately fail.
Right.
And fail hard.
Yeah, people are tired of it. There would not, it's a basic economic kind of thing. There's, not enough demand for a Toys to Life game right now. There is really no reason why the general public would want to go and buy this, because they're still technically coming off of Imaginators. That was just a couple years ago, and the sales for that had dramatically dropped. And so while us fans would definitely love to see like Skylanders cards implemented into like a Toys to Life game, kind of like Amiibo cards are, where you can like tap them to the Joy-Con and your Skylander appears or something, or, you know, like insert them into like some sort of new portal device, that'd be cool. But the thing is it's not likely, because Activision wouldn't be making any money off of that. That wouldn't sell well.
Exactly.
So that's already weird. And then the other thing that's also strange to me is that she mentions the Skylanders theatrical film talks have stopped, which, as far as I know, like, those were stopped back when Academy happened. Like, it's really weird for them to specify that particular point when, like, they had already been talking about a Skylanders theatrical film back during, like, Swap Force and Trap Team. But then eventually it got revealed that they were going to be doing a TV show being Academy. And so, like, I kind of just always assumed that Academy would be that thing, and now suddenly, like, they're talking specifically about, like, a theatrical film talk. Like, we hadn't heard about theatrical film talks anyway from Skylanders for, like, 7 years. So it's really weird that that was even included at all in this.
That is definitely very strange.
Yeah. So, and then of course the even stranger thing is this idea that there could be multiple Skylanders games in development right now. Because if Activision already was having struggling, like, if Activision was already struggling with this franchise at keeping it where they wanted to keep it financially, and, like, so they pulled the plug on it back with Imaginators, like, I'd understand if they wanted to test the waters a little bit with, like, a new concept Skylanders game, like a Battle Royale. Like, this mentions a Battle Royale thing. It does. But, like, I don't see them doing a Toys to Life Battle Royale thing. But the thing that really doesn't add up to me is why would they do potentially three Skylanders projects at one time? One that doesn't fit Activision's trend of how they try to release things kind of like in a cycle, like how they like to rotate between Toys for Bob and Vicarious Visions with Skylanders back when it was active, and how they're even rotating between Spyro and Crash now. 3 Skylanders games in development all at one time? That is not at all what Activision does when it comes to producing their franchises.
No, and Activision has been a heavily to the pattern publisher for a number of years now.
Yeah, like even their Call of Duty games, right? Like, they never release more than one of those a year, and that's a super popular franchise. They have that rotating off between multiple developers, just like they used to have Skylanders rotating off with Toys for Bob and Vicarious Visions. So it's...
Exactly.
This
so
really doesn't work.
3 Skylander games at once, it doesn't fit the pattern. It's not possible.
Yeah, this is weird. And, like, sure, I mean, I guess if you really wanted to try to interpret this as, like, oh, well, if they're trying to expand the Skylanders into other games, like expanding the Spyro universe, alright, maybe Skylanders appear in Spyro 4, okay, so maybe that's what that's talking about. But that still means that we'd be getting, like, some sort of mainstream Skylanders reboot that isn't this Battle Royale thing, but then we'd also be getting this Battle Royale thing? Like, I feel like they would hold off on making a brand new console Skylanders game until they, like, either determined that this Battle Royale thing was good and was working, or they would go ahead and make a mainline one and then determine that and then see if they wanted to do a Battle Royale spinoff. Like, it's weird that it seems like this would be 2 in one go, and it's also weird just because of the Toys to Life thing. Like, I cannot ever, unless they are making, like, really cheap cards that, you know, are being sold for a couple bucks, like, in a pack, like they do with the Amiibo cards, like, I really don't see them even remotely attempting Toys to Life ever again, especially right now, after just pretty much still coming off of it.
Right.
So
it just wouldn't make any sense to do so. It's a bad business plan, and Activision is not looking for bad business plans.
Exactly. So when it comes to these leaks in particular, Ditto and I are pretty much entirely convinced they're fake. We think they're fake for another reason too, but I think it's pretty safe to say that this does not add up whatsoever.
Not at all.
Yeah, and we've heard plenty of other people saying that as well. Like Portal Master doesn't seem to be Portal Master replied to this and doesn't seem to be agreeing that these leaks have any kind of validity now either. So it's pretty safe to say that this is one and done. Like it's pretty much safe to say we can probably put the nail in the coffin on these leaks. Now, moving on to this other kind of development is that there's this other account that's been popping up on Twitter that's made a couple posts about Skylanders as well. Like some Twitter poster named Pierre Rodrigo, who says that he previously used to work for Activision but does not currently. And has also said something kind of similarly, that there was going to be some sort of new Skylanders content that had mobile functionality, that had interactive and team-based cooperation, specifically of the Battle Royale genre. And that pretty much this was a game that they had previously been working on that was not Skylanders related, but is now being turned into being Skylanders related, pretty much. So it's being repurposed into a Skylanders game. So that does kind of sound like it could be backing up these leaks from Tiffany Treadmore, but the thing is like, this still, like, and even, like I've said, and Ditto and I have said on our podcast as well, that it would make, sadly, very logical sense for them to turn Skylanders into a Battle Royale genre because of the wide amount of different characters that they'd have to pull from right from the start. The thing that doesn't really add up to me is that, for this in particular, that Activision would take a game they were already developing that either was related to another IP that isn't mentioned here, or was a new IP, and they're like, oh, just kidding, let's make it Skylanders. Because, again, that would be odd. Like, that's not part of Activision's MO. Like, that's not something they do.
No, if they were to do this, this would be unprecedented.
Right. This would be something brand new. Like, that's the thing. And the other thing that really doesn't add up to me about this particular leaker is they initially say in their first kind of postings that they were working for the greater Activision company, which makes it sound like they were very much on the business side of things. Like, they had knowledge of the inner workings of the company. But then their next immediate post is basically them saying, well, when I was working on this one project that got repurposed, it makes it seem more so that they're on the development side. So, like, it's odd. Like, unless you're...
It's
like,
inconsistent.
Yeah, like, it's very inconsistent to the point where it really just does not add up to me. So, yeah, well...
And I agree with that math, even though Inklander is notoriously bad at math.
That is true. That is true, but it really does not add up, because as much as Ditto and I both think that a Battle Royale would work, well, I don't want to say well for Skylanders, but, like, as much as Ditto and I agree that a Battle Royale
would make sense,
the fact that, like, this is all happening, and the way that it's phrased, and the fact that it also apparently is supposed to be having some sort of connectivity between mobile and Switch... Yeah, it's starting to really not look good for these leaks. But the big thing that pretty much is the ultimate nail in the coffin for all of this stuff that pretty much deconfirms everything that these people have said is the fact that the Skylanders website has gone down.
It does, and well, some people say they could be trying to revamp the website. That is actually very, very unlikely. It seems more along the lines of they have archived the website, because that would fall in line with the recent developments that have happened on the website with the with restoring it to a previous version and whatnot. That's on pattern for them to be more on the side of archiving it. So basically what this seems like is Activision is saying that Skylanders is done.
Yeah, at least for right now. Like that
yes.
is exactly what it's indicating to me too, because like when they initially updated it and it seemed to be that they were buffing up the security thing, and then the website broke, I was like, okay, well, it's possible that while they were updating the security stuff of the website to keep it up to date, they also might have gone in and made some like actual structural changes to the website, like they might have added in new pages or something. Like that's always possible. But the thing is like once they like changed the website to where Heartbreaker Buckshot got put on the website, it was very clear that whatever happened when they were doing the security update was not intentional. Like, they didn't mean for that to happen. Like, it was a glitch. And so for some reason they weren't either able to recover the most recent version of the website, or, you know, like, whatever happened there, we don't know. Like, they ended up having to roll it back, or they maybe unintentionally rolled it back to the version that had Heartbreaker Buckshot on it. So the thing is like, the fact that this website is now down means that this had to have been an archival process. Because if there was a new Skylanders game coming out anytime soon, in the remote future at all, they would have just left the website up. Because, like, why not, you know? It's just like, leave it up there. That way people are still able to interact with the characters, still have an understanding of what Skylanders is, and actually have, like, a tangible way of interacting with it officially from the company. Even if it's not, like, the most up to date for whatever new project they had going on. So that's basically what would make the most logical sense. If they had a new game coming out, all they'd have to do is basically add in a couple hidden pages, and then once it came time to announce a new game, just update the website, click a button to be able to remove all the outdated pages that are no longer relevant if needed, and then add in the pages for the new game. Like, they could do it in a moment's notice. That would make sense. But the fact that they completely, entirely removed this, like, the fact that the Skylanders website is gone, is Activision saying that there is no plans for Skylanders to happen in the immediate future.
Now, give it 8 to 10 years, maybe a little longer. Once nostalgia starts creeping up, then maybe they'll do something with it then. But this does kind of prove that they have no plans in the near future to do anything with Skylanders as a whole.
Yeah, so all of these leaks and all these rumors that have been talked about, that I've had my doubts on, Ditto's had her doubts on, like, yeah, the thing is, like, the fact that this website got taken down, it doesn't mean that they're updating it. It really just does mean that all these rumors and leaks that have been going on are fake. Like, it pretty much absolutely confirms that, because, like, Activision wouldn't have taken the website down if they were about to announce a Battle Royale Skylanders game. Like, they could have just, you know, left the website up and massively revamped it, or, like, you know, being able to be a place to download, like, a Skylanders launcher, if you will. Like, that could have been an update that they could have done without removing the Skylanders website as a whole. But the thing is it's gone. And so that means that, for the time being, Skylanders is gone. Well, at least in the minds of Activision.
We may be lucky enough to get a couple cameos every here and there. I mean, we did get a cameo in Crash 4, and there was some Skylanders artwork, I believe, in the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah.
So a cameo I could definitely see being a thing over the next few years. But overall, as a whole, when it comes to Skylanders games themselves, for the time being, it seems it's done.
It's weird. Because, yeah, the Skylanders franchise technically went on hiatus a couple years ago. And yeah, we do have Ring of Heroes, but that's made by Com2uS. That's not made by Activision. Activision has no, like, Activision can kind of roughly tell them, hey, don't do this, don't do that with it, but, like, that is Com2uS's, like, playground. That's their decision. That's their stuff that they're working on with the property. So when it comes to Activision, like Activision has decided, based on this removal, that everything's done. And it's odd. And, like, I don't think we're going to get an official announcement, because we never got an official announcement that Skylanders was going on hiatus, really. We just got an announcement that there would be no console game for 2017, and we got an announcement that Academy was canceled, but that's it. So, we've never gotten, like, an official thing being like, yes, the franchise is, like, over. Like, the Skylanders franchise is done. We're not making any stuff. But this is the most of a nail in the coffin as we can get, because even back when the franchise had been on hiatus, there was like some glimmer of hope, like, hey, maybe we'll get another mobile game, like maybe Activision will tell Com2uS they're doing a good job and they'll get them to do another mobile game or something, or they'll get another developer to do it, or who knows, maybe we'll get like a Skystone spin-off. But like this here, the fact that the website is gone is kind of a blow to us Portal Masters.
It really is. It really, really is. But we still have our memories.
That's true, and we still have the fan base as well, because we're still going to be able to interact with everyone. We're still going to be able to hang out, talk about our love for Skylanders. You know, we got a podcast where we talk about Skylanders.
And we can still play Skylanders.
Yes, very true. So like the thing is like we've still got stuff. Like
we've still got everything they gave us to this point.
Yeah.
It's just that they've decided that that's the end of it.
Yeah. So we still have the community. We still have, you know, all of our memories. We've still got the games, at least until all the NFC chips die. But you know, like we still have, you know, like stuff to do with Skylands. You know, we still have the show.
We have plenty of stuff to do, and we've got the community.
Exactly.
And we have our love for the franchise.
Right.
Now, this does come as a little bit heavier a blow than I think it normally would, because this happened during the year of the 10th anniversary. So all of us fans, all of us Portal Masters were hoping for something new to come this year. Something new, something great. And instead, we essentially get handed a death certificate.
Yeah, so it is definitely a big blow. And like the thing is I don't know if it's just because I've gotten way more engaged with Skylanders over the past year, but it really does kind of feel like the community has blossomed a lot. Like it feels like a lot of the hardcore passionate fans have like found each other over the past year. At least that's what it feels like to me. And so the fact that like we've like it feels like Skylanders as a fandom has gotten a massive resurgence, and so then for this to kind of happen, it is pretty disheartening. Like it literally feels like my Skylanders have died.
Right.
It's weird.
I have that same feeling.
Yeah, there's like a sinking gut reaction. Like it's weird. So it's going to take a while to like process it, because, you know, as much like, even though I've been kind of sort of like reporting on my impressions about these leaks, and I've been, you know, I've been pretty like pessimistic on them. I'll admit, like, you know, I've been pretty doom and gloom about them, but it's mostly because I don't want people to get their hopes up. Like, of course, as a fan, I've wanted a new game. Like, I'd love to have Skylanders 7. I'd love to have like 8 Skylanders spin-offs going at one time, like Pokemon seems to always do with their mobile games. Like, you know, I'd love that, but it just doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen. At least anytime soon. But hey, Spyro's Adventure remake for 2031. Let's hope it happens. Like let's do it. Like let's hope for it. And if we can stay as passionate as, you know, the Crash and Spyro audience has been, then hopefully Activision will see that and they will give Skylanders another chance. But you know,
hopefully without Toys to Life, because the fact that the NFC chips do give out and die does mean that there will come a point in time where the games aren't playable anymore. So digital characters definitely should be on the list.
Absolutely. Like, they will need to find some sort of way to revitalize Skylanders, and hopefully in a new way. Like, as Ditto and I have talked about on our podcast, as I've reiterated in these videos of mine, even though I'm not a big fan of a Battle Royale idea for Skylanders, cool, at least it's more Skylanders content.
Right.
And same thing with, like, I mean, you know, we've even talked about, like, doing an open world kind of Skyrim Breath of the Wild thing on our channel. I'd love to see that. Like, I'd love to see, like, open world Skylanders game where you're maybe able to, like, fly around to different islands and there's different quests and side quests and mini bosses to fight. That'd be so cool.
That
So
would
maybe,
be amazing.
maybe one day, Activision will revitalize things. I just, as disheartening as it is, I also want to have this feel like a rallying cry as well. To be like,
Right.
let's stick together as a community. Let's not let this affect us too much. And hopefully, if we stay passionate, if we still are very engaged with the franchise, if we still show that we care about it, Activision might give it another shot. But I do think that they're kind of looking at Skylanders in the same way that they came off of Guitar Hero. Because what happened with Guitar Hero was it was super popular, everyone loved it, it was very similarly one of those peripheral things that had a cool new concept to it. And then after they released, 3 or 4 games of it, it immediately dropped off and no one cared anymore. But then what happened was a couple years later, they tried to bring it back with Guitar Hero Live, and no one was interested still. And the reason for it is because they just brought it back too early. And the thing is like, as much as I'd love to see a Skylanders game, now I do worry that, if they did end up doing something with Toys to Life and with Skylanders again this year, it'd flop. And then we would never see Skylanders again. And I don't want that to happen. I don't know. Maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this is a good thing for, Activision to take some time, rethink the franchise completely, and then give us something awesome and new and different a couple years from now. That's the hope.
Right. Well, this does seem like truly the end of an era. We can still be together as a community. We can still play the games, keep the hope alive that maybe down the line, maybe 10 years from now, Activision will decide to revitalize the series in some way, because it's always possible.
Absolutely. Well said, Ditto. And so I think that's probably a pretty good place to leave this video. So let us know what your thoughts are down below in the comments, and yeah, just let us know how you're feeling about this. It's definitely kind of an interesting time, I think, for the Skylanders fandom. So Ditto, where can people find you at?
So you can find me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/GFDitto. I'm live 6 nights a week. A little bit late night, but I'm there. I'm also right here on YouTube under the same name, GFDitto. And you can find me on Twitter at GF_Ditto.
Yes, and links to all those channels and locales that you're able to find Ditto will be linked in the description, so you can check those out. And of course, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I do a bunch of Skylanders and Nintendo content. If you like Zelda, if you like Mario Kart, if you like, Splatoon, anything like that, then consider following if you haven't already. And join my Discord as well. That's a place where you can hang out and ask me questions whenever I'm not live, or whenever, I'm not putting up a new video or whatnot. So thanks again, everyone, for listening, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.